The money vanished from my leather fold. 3 days before the surgeon's blade was set, a story of a trust that turned so cold, a heavy debt I never will forget. I couldn't raise my hand to fight that day. The hernia had anchored down my soul. I watched the helper take my life away, while trying just to keep my body whole. I called the office with a shaking breath to tell them how the helper did me wrong. But silence felt as cold as winter's death before the secretary pushed along. She called me out and said I told a lie, that I had spent the cash on city streets. I looked up at the gray and bitter sky and felt the rhythm of the heart's defeats. I told her I could barely lift a grain. A gallon of the milk was far too much. She mocked the very essence of my pain with words that had a cruel and heavy touch. You can't prove where the paper currency went, she whispered with a sharp and jagged tongue. I told her of the hospital's event where all my weary evidence was hung. Massachusetts records never fade. The hallways of the clinic know my name. But still she played the gaslight's ugly shade and tried to turn the theft into my shame. I didn't leave because the gold was gone, or that she reached inside my private wall. I left because the darkness lingered on within a desk that wouldn't hear my call. I took my story to the glowing screen. For 60 days I let the cameras roll. I made sure every bit of truth was seen to keep another from this heavy toll. The winter passed and brought the month of March, a year since my dear father went away. I walked beneath the memory's lonely arch and didn't have a single word to say. The theft was just a shadow in the past. My heart was filled with echoes of his face. I thought the quiet peace would finally last within that somber and a hallowed space. But then the telephone began to ring. The agency was calling for a sign, a sudden and a sharp and nasty sting to close a case that stayed upon the line. Are you still billing Medicare for me? I asked the boss who waited on the wire. It's been 3 months of being truly free, while I light again this old and dusty fire. The interrupted moments meant for grief to push a paper underneath my hand. It brought me back to that unpunished thief and how they never tried to understand. The timing was a jagged, rusty nail. They waited while I mourned my father's soul. To them I'm just a number in a sale, a broken part they never would make whole. They're hired by the doctors for the weak, to care for those who cannot stand alone. But comfort is a thing they never seek. Their hearts are made of nothing but a stone. They build a system while the patients cry, with no regard for what a person feels. They look the grieving sick to suffer in the dark. I'll speak aloud the nature of their game and leave upon their name a bitter mark. Don't let them through your door in your sight. They have no mercy for a wearied mind. They take away the peace and all the light and leave the grieving spirit far behind. The blues is all I have to tell the tale of secretaries and the money taken. Against this coldness I will surely prevail, though by their coldness I was deeply shaken.